Welcome back to Thrive Nuggets, your go-to channel for enlightening and inspiring content. We're so glad you could join us today. We know that life can be challenging at times, and it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. That's why we're here, to help you navigate through the complexities of life and to inspire you to strive for greatness, not in terms of material wealth or societal status, but in terms of character. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's often misunderstood and misinterpreted in our society: the true worth of a man. Is it defined by his possessions, his status, or his achievements? Or is it something far more profound and significant? Join us as we explore this intriguing topic and redefine the measure of a man's worth. So sit back, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, and let's get started. In a world where success is often measured by material wealth and societal status, it's easy to lose sight of the true essence of a man's worth. When we look around, we see a society that places a high premium on what a man has, rather than who he is. Expensive cars, high-end fashion, palatial homes, high-ranking titles, and bulging bank accounts are often seen as the benchmarks of success. But do they truly define a man's worth? Are they an accurate measure of his value? Take a moment and think about it. Is a man truly worth the brand of his suit or the model of his car? Is his value determined by the number of zeros in his bank account or the square footage of his house? The answer, of course, is a resounding no. These are merely superficial indicators of success, and they say very little about the man himself. So what then is a man's worth? What's the true measure of his value? The answer lies not in his possessions, but in his character. The real currency of a man's worth is his character, the principles he lives by, the virtues he upholds, and the values he embodies. It's his integrity, his resilience, his compassion, his courage, and the legacy he leaves behind. Character, not possessions, is the true measure of a man's worth. It's the gold standard by which we should judge a man's value. It's the invisible currency that holds far greater value than any tangible asset. It's the one thing that a man carries with him wherever he goes, and it's the one thing that truly defines him. So let's shift our focus from the superficial to the substantial, from the external to the internal, from the material to the moral. Let's redefine the measure of a man's worth and recognize the true currency of his value. The answer lies in something far more profound: the currency of character. At the core of a man's worth lies integrity, the unwavering commitment to doing what's right, even when no one is watching. In the grand scheme of life, we encounter countless situations that test our character. These are the moments when we must choose between the easy path or the right one. And in these moments, integrity takes center stage. It's not about grand gestures or epic acts of heroism. It's about the small, everyday decisions that quietly shape who we are. Imagine a man who finds a wallet full of cash on a deserted street. No one's around, no cameras in sight. He could easily pocket the money and walk away. But instead, he chooses to find its rightful owner. It's a small act, yet it speaks volumes about his character. This is integrity in action. Or consider a businessman who refuses to cut corners, despite the promise of quick profits. He chooses to uphold ethical standards, even if it means slower growth for his venture. His commitment to doing what's right, even at personal cost, is a reflection of his integrity. But why does integrity matter so much? Why is it the core of a man's worth? Integrity is more than just a moral compass. It's a beacon that guides us through the complexities of life. It's the force that keeps us grounded, helps us maintain our self-respect, and earns us the trust and respect of others. It's the bedrock upon which we build our relationships, our careers, and ultimately our lives. Moreover, integrity is the embodiment of authenticity. It's the courage to be true to ourselves, to stand firm in our beliefs, and to live by our principles, regardless of external pressures. In essence, integrity is the ultimate measure of a man's worth. It's not about how much he owns or how high he climbs on the social ladder. It's about his character, his principles, and his commitment to doing what's right. So when we talk about a man's worth, let's not just consider his material wealth or societal status. Let's look deeper and see his integrity, for it is integrity, a cornerstone in the foundation of a man's worth. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, is another vital aspect of a man's worth. This isn't just about the strength to stand tall in the face of a storm. It's about the determination to dance in the rain, the ability to transform challenges into stepping stones for growth, the audacity to evolve through the trials and tribulations of life. That is resilience. Consider the phoenix, rising from the ashes, reborn and renewed. This is the power of resilience. It's the tenacity to push through, to endure, to keep moving forward even when the world seems to be against you. It's the grit to maintain hope, to stay positive even in the darkest hours. It's not about never falling, but about always getting back up. It's about turning the tides of adversity into the winds of change. Resilience, the backbone of a man's worth. Compassion, the heart of humanity, speaks volumes about a man's worth. It's not merely a trait or a passing sentiment, but a deep-rooted part of who we are. Compassion is the ability to feel for others, to empathize with their circumstances, and to act on this empathy in meaningful ways. It's about recognizing our shared humanity and reaching out with kindness and understanding. Compassion isn't about pity or charity, but about recognizing that each one of us is part of a larger human family. It's about seeing the inherent worth and dignity in every person, regardless of their circumstances. It's about understanding that everyone has their own struggles and challenges, and choosing to respond with kindness rather than judgment. The significance of compassion in defining a man's worth cannot be overstated. It's the ability to step outside of oneself, to put aside one's own needs and desires, and to genuinely care for others. It's about being there for others in their times of need, offering a helping hand or a listening ear. Compassion is about making the world a better place, not just for oneself, but for everyone. It's about leaving a positive impact on the lives of others, and in doing so, enriching one's own life. It's about fostering connections, building bridges, and promoting a sense of community and togetherness. Compassion, the heart of a man's worth. Because a man's worth isn't defined by what he takes from the world, but by what he gives back to it. Courage, the willingness to step outside one's comfort zone and pursue one's dreams, is a defining trait of a man of worth. This isn't about reckless bravado or thoughtless risk-taking. No, the courage we speak of is a deeper, more resonating virtue. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about being true to yourself, even when it's easier to follow the crowd. You see, courage isn't the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. It's the strength to face the unknown, to embrace change, and to venture into uncharted territories. It's about being brave enough to admit when you're wrong, to say "I'm sorry," to say "I don't know." Courage is about daring to fail, because failure is not the opposite of success, but a stepping stone to it. It's about the bravery to question, to seek truth, to challenge the status quo. It's about the audacity to dream big, to strive for greatness, and to never give up, no matter how tough things get. Courage, you see, is not just about physical strength or heroic deeds. It's about the spirit, the resolve, the determination that dwells within. It's about the guts to live authentically, to speak your truth, and to fight for your dreams. And so courage, the spirit of a man's worth, is not just a trait, but a beacon of light that guides him through the darkest storms and into the brightest dawns. And ultimately, a man's worth is measured by the legacy he leaves behind, the lives he touches, the hearts he inspires, and the positive change he brings to the world. Let's delve into this. The legacy of a man is not about the wealth he amasses, nor the accolades he receives throughout his life. It's about the footprints he leaves on the sands of time, the impressions that continue to resonate long after he has moved on. A man of worth is one who invests his time and energy into making the world a better place. He's a nurturer of dreams, a beacon of hope, a catalyst for change. He understands that every act of kindness, every word of encouragement, every gesture of love has the power to transform lives. Picture this: a man who plants a tree, knowing fully well he may never bask in its shade, yet he plants it anyway for the generations to come. That's a legacy. A man who teaches a child to read, opening up a world of possibilities for the young mind. That's a legacy. A man who stands up for justice, even when it's not popular or convenient. That's a legacy. It's about living a life that echoes in eternity. It's about creating ripples of positive change that extend far beyond one's immediate sphere of influence. It's about living a life of purpose, a life that matters. And so we circle back to our original question. So, what's a man worth? He's worth far more than material possessions or societal acclaim. He's worth his integrity, his resilience, his compassion, his courage, and the legacy he leaves behind. Remember, it's not about how much you have, but how much you give. Not about your success, but your significance. Not about your fame, but your impact. That, my friends, is the true measure of a man's worth. Before we conclude, we have a small request. If you found value in this video, please give it a like. It's a small gesture, but it helps us reach more people with these important messages. And if you know someone who could benefit from this video, don't hesitate to share it. Let's help each other grow. Lastly, if you want to keep learning and exploring with us, make sure to subscribe to Thrive Nuggets. Your support means the world to us and allows us to keep creating content like this. Thank you, and remember, your worth is immeasurable.